Crimson Tide Football with Coach Bill Curry. Brought to you by AmSouth Bank. Our team works to serve your growing needs. By your local Coca-Cola bottler. When Coca-Cola is a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling. By Golden Flake Snack Foods. One taste and you're stuck from Golden Flake. By Tamarron Automotive Group. For sales and service, one way the right way, it's Tamarron. And by Ziegler's. Ziegler's Meat, seasoned to please Southern taste. And now, here's Alabama head coach, Bill Curry.
Hello, and welcome to the second edition of the Alabama Football Show for 1987. After all the months of work and speculation and the things that go around with transition, it was really exciting this past weekend to go to Legion Field, see a packed house for which we were very, very grateful, the team and the coaching staff, and then to get a chance to play some football. Our guys responded as they have ever since we got here in January with a 38-6 win over a good Southern Mississippi team. We were extremely proud of the effort. We were proud of the concentration for the most part. There were some things that were very, very good. Bobby Humphrey's performance was the kind of thing that you expect from Bobby Humphrey. David Smith erased a lot of the concerns about whether or not he has poise when it comes time to turn on the real lights. The defense held Southern Mississippi to 166 yards. Those kinds of things are critical in the first football game to build confidence and to prepare us for the rest of the season. There were also some things that were not so good, and we'll see those and the other good things as we go into the highlights here at the beginning of the 1987 season. The $1 Million Band was in its normal, I should not say rare form. They're always terrific. It was just great to be a part of this scene. You can see the thousands of balloons that were released, and we're very appreciative of those as the team takes the field. The atmosphere was the kind of thing that really is an emotional boost to the players, and I might add to the coaching staff. We appreciated very much Governor Guy Hunt tossing the coin, and I might add he did it properly so that we won the coin toss. We didn't take advantage of it, but we did have the football first, which is exactly what we wanted. Here you see Soraka, the kicker for Southern Miss, kicking off to start the 1987 season, and a not a very impressive blocking job for Bobby there on that return. As we see the opening series, you'll see that Southern Mississippi has big, powerful people. They stoned us, to be frank about it. We didn't come off the ball well. We were tentative. We didn't block anybody, and ended up giving up the football in very good field position for Southern Mississippi. Normally when you get the football the first time, what you want to do is at least mount a long drive and force the other team into poor field position, but we didn't do that, so our defense took over and did a good job to get them stopped. You saw Greg Gilbert there on the tackle on Gandy, the fine tailback from Southern Mississippi. Again, Gene Jelks. Not much blocking there on the punt return. We come back to the second series, and once again, we're not blocking very well. You see gang tackling there by Southern Mississippi. And we're stopped again. I was not pleased at all at this point. We weren't getting anything done in special teams. We're letting them run the ball back too far on a short punt by Chris Moore. But one of our big play people, and we've counted on Gene Jelks, as Alabama has for years around here. At least this is the third year. Now with him on defense, he did exactly what we had hoped for. Picked the ball off, returned it 31 yards to put us in great field position to set us up for the first touchdown. You see Bo right here on short yardage. Good blocking there. We're starting to pick it up now and come off the football and do some things. Under pressure here, David Smith makes a great throw, an even greater catch by Clay Whitehurst, and we're in the end zone, and the score is 7-0. You see Bill Condon there showing a little enthusiasm. Bill was enthused just to be on the field, and we were very proud for him and the great job he did to get back. He gave us good leadership as our offensive captain. I might add that our defensive captain, as elected by the team, was Randy Rockwell, special teams Chris Moore, and Todd Richardson. Philip Doyle goes into the NCAA record books with that first extra point there, as he extends the string. So it's 7-0 rather, and pretty good coverage there on the kickoff. John Davis, one of our rogue elephants, made that tackle. And the defense continues to play well with Derek Thomas and then Philip Brown doing a fine job. Very disappointed in the blocking on our punt returns. The kind of runner that Gene is, we ought to do better at that, and we will. Here David Smith executes the option well. Continued hard hitting by Southern Mississippi. On 3rd and 8, here's an excellent conversion pass to Greg Payne, another fellow who came off a broken wrist to catch the ball well, and again on the option, and now we're back in the end zone to run the score to 13-0 with some fine running by Bobby Humphrey, who continues to show that he is, in fact, a Heisman Trophy candidate. Philip Doyle on his second extra point, and Philip showed us a lot of poise. He started off, Philip did, with kickoffs that were not up to his standard, but he just got stronger as the day went on. And there's little Todd Richardson. And when I say little, I'm talking in the 150-pound range, making his standard big hit on kickoff coverage. Now we're coming to the end of the first quarter, and it's 14-zip, and frankly, better than we could have expected from this young Alabama football team.
Golden Flake, along with Edwards Chevrolet and custom creation vans. Just go anywhere Golden Flake snacks are sold and fill out your entry form. Imagine cruising to a Bama game in your own specially customized football van, the Roll Tide. Whoever wins it shouldn't be too surprised because Alabama fans are used to winning. One taste and you're stuck on Golden Flake.
Cooking you in my side, showing our pride. There's nothing on earth like a thundering roll tide. Into the tide, the winning tradition, you're a part of it. So go, 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 let it roll, let the celebration begin. The tide and cook are a part of your life. You can't beat the feeling.
Enthusiasm and hustle had already turned the momentum of the game, and here you see it continue. Tommy Cole, who had an outstanding game, was our leading tackler. He's got the sack here. Now Billy Knighton punting out of his end zone to Gene Jelks, who fair catches, and we're in good field position again at the 40. We didn't do much with this drive in the running game, but watch this throw and catch and the run by Bobby Humphrey. Again, there's pressure. David makes a perfect throw to Bobby, who runs it in the end zone, bringing the score to 20-0. Great enthusiasm in the stadium. You see our linemen and the excitement that they feel when something like this occurs. There was a blitz there. David read it perfectly. Hit Bobby. Watch this move. That's All-American caliber. Pretty good protection on the day, but maybe a little more leakage than we would have liked. Philip comes on to make the score 21-0. And I might add that this is a very poised and a cool young man as a freshman. The only time he got upset is when he missed a field goal because he frankly expects to make them all. Here's very poor coverage on our part. Good blocking by Southern Mississippi. They almost broke this thing. The guy that you saw make the tackle there was none other than Philip Doyle, who played like a linebacker. 3rd and 1 here now. Southern Miss had a drive going. Big Thomas Graham, sophomore defensive tackle, makes the play for a loss. On the punt, it's a 29-yarder, and we end up getting the football back again and have a chance to get Kerry Good in the game. On the isolation play, right off the bat, he goes for 15 yards, breaking tackles, and Kerry's a guy that all Alabama people should be proud of. 3rd and short here, David Castile, yet another of our outstanding backs, runs for the first down. Good blocking here by Joe King and Bill Condon. Another first down. Good throw by David to Howard Cross, who makes an excellent catch to take the ball down to the 5-yard line. We bogged down here. I was disappointed in our short yardage, goal line type offense in that situation, as well as later when it got really embarrassing. But we'll see that in the second half. Philip came on to make his first field goal of his career, and now it's 24-0. And this is much better coverage. Rip Mitchell there, a walk-on player out of Mobile, and another one of the Rogue Elephants, makes a big hit. Those are momentum plays. Here's Willie Wyatt on the sack with Greg Gilbert, Anthony Smith, Willie Shepard in there. Now here's a situation that we ought to be able to handle better, and this is coaching. This is my fault. We ought to be able to rush the punter right before the half in an effort to get the football back so that we can get something on the board without having to fear that we would rough him. But we ran into him, knocked him down, gave him the ball back, and gave them a chance to score another touchdown, and that was not good, and caused me to go into the locker room at the half with a bad taste in my mouth. Even though the score was exactly what we would have liked, we should have played that situation much better. Clearly, it was a great job by our team in the first half, but as I mentioned, at the end of the half, when you've got them backed up, you ought to be able to get after that punter, put heat on him, and hopefully block it and get some more points on the board. So we talked about that at halftime and talked about keeping the heat on for the rest of the game. As we go to the second half, you'll see that what happens is that we kick off because we had won the coin toss and Southern Mississippi had chosen to receive in the second half, and we allow them to drive the ball the length of the field. Now, it was the only sustained drive that they had on the day, so from that standpoint, great job on kickoff coverage by John Casmus and Philip Brown there. From here, it's downhill for a while. Southern Miss executes the run-and-shoot offense to perfection there as Young passes to Tillman for 9. They drive it the length of the field. We have one good play in the goal line situation, but then we allow him to Young to run it in the end zone to get their only touchdown of the day. They were penalized, attempted to go for 2, and you saw Tommy Cole make another big play to hold them to 6 points. But what's disappointing about that, and again, another good lesson, is that we showed a lack of concentration at the beginning of the third quarter, which is one of the most important times in a football game. Then Bobby drops the kickoff there, managed to pick it up and make a decent return, probably our only decent job blocking all day. And then we see excellent throwing and catching by David Smith to Angelo Stafford. And we redeem ourselves somewhat with a good sustained drive, good blocking by Joe King, Roger Schultz there. Excellent running down the sideline by Bobby, and we're back on the board to take it to 30-6, which, of course, really is demoralizing when a team comes out the second half, has an excellent drive, and thinks they're back in the game. To have our offense go back on the field and take it in was one of the bigger points in the football game. Philip getting stronger and stronger on his kickoffs. Here again, good coverage as we improve. Spencer Hammond and John Casmus. An attempt at a reverse shows excellent coaching on the part of the defense as we're in good shape there. Philip Brown misses the tackle and gets up and makes it because of outstanding athletic ability. Now you see Willie Wyatt, Anthony Smith making a big play. Willie Shepard coming off a knee injury. Excellent tackle. And again, Southern Miss is forced to punt. Once again, although this one hung up pretty well and gave him a chance to cover, I think we could do a better job of blocking for Gene. The only poor kick all day by Philip, which infuriated him, was a 51-yard attempt. I thought he tried to overpower the ball, but he will learn that that is not a tough kick for him. Good pressure here by Derek Thomas. George Bethune shows not so terrific running ability, but his instructions are to keep the football and get on the ground. So we end the third quarter with a score of 31-6. Great enthusiasm by our crowd, and we'll come back with the final quarter of the Southern Miss game after this. Important parts of our plan for the game was to play a lot of people, and we began that in the first half. We played 2 entire offensive lines and up to 3 positions deep on defense. And, of course, the fourth quarter allowed us to get more people in the game, but this is a familiar face on the first carry. Kerry Good almost took the ball into the end zone there, but was tripped up. And again, our short yardage man, Bo Wright, great running. Could have blocked it a lot better, but Bo makes the first down on 3rd and 2. On 3rd and 4, here's David keeping on the option for a first down. Now, here's the most embarrassing part of the performance, and we will not tolerate this, and we'll be on the goal line practicing full speed because we're going to knock people back. We had a first down at the 1 on a great throw and catch by David and Angelo Stafford, which I regret we did not get to show you. And here ensues a sequence of 4 terrible football plays. where we don't block anybody, we don't run the ball well, we don't throw the ball well, and if the score had been different, we could have actually brought these people back into the game. But fortunately, the defense went in, stiffened. On the short punt there, we had David Castile in position, John Cassimus, I'm sorry, in position to make the catch, and David Castile comes in, shows some fine running. And again, David, who had an excellent day, with Jeff Dunn in the game. Jeff, his first collegiate pass, although he didn't throw it to the guy we would have preferred, David Castile turns it into a touchdown. Jeff Dunn's going to be an outstanding player, and it was good to see him get some action. Not only did David Castile make a good run here, but people got into the action, and as he cut it across the green, people made good blocks to spring him into the end zone. So with the extra point, we now go to what became the final score of 38-6. Thought the kickoff coverage got a little bit better. Kick here was a little short, but we only allow a 13-yard return. I'd rather have him squared up rather than tripped, but we got more people around the football. Here's Boobie Nathan, formerly of the University of Alabama, making a good run, but tossed the ball up, and Rory Turner comes up with it. All right, Jeff Dunn back in the game. Jeff scrambles out here. Shows good athletic ability, even though he's coming off an injury as well. And we'll finish up here with an excellent punt by Chris Moore to take the ball down to the inside the 10-yard line. Southern Miss gets the ball back, and you see David Lenore, Spencer Hammond, some young guys who really needed the work. Yet another mistake by our special teams. We had 12 men on the field here. In an effort to substitute a lot of people, we made the mistake, and again, that's coaching. And there's a lot to learn from this football game, but it was a very satisfying win. I was extremely proud of our players. Young people like Gene Jelks, who is as unselfish a player as I have ever worked with, who volunteered to move to the defensive side of the ball and really turned the momentum our way with the big interception. A lot to be proud of with this football team, the 1987 Crimson Tide. Our defense held a good Southern Mississippi team to 166 yards. Nobody could be quite sure how that was going to evolve. David Smith, our quarterback, who had thrown a grand total of 3 passes in his life in a college game, was superb. But obviously we have a lot of work to do on special teams and goal line offense specifically. We'll be doing that this week because the next opponent is Penn State, and you know all about them. So I hope you'll be here with us this time next week.
Crimson Tide Football with Coach Bill Curry has been brought to you by Ziegler's. Ziegler's Meat. Season to please Southern taste. By Tamarron Automotive Group. For sales and service, one way the right way, it's Tamarron. By Golden Flake Snack Foods. One taste and you're stuck on Golden Flake. By your local Coca-Cola bottler. When Coca-Cola is a part of your life, you can't beat the feeling. And by AmSouth Bank. Our team works to serve your growing needs. When visiting Tuscaloosa, stay at the Sheraton Capstone Inn.